Role of a Lifesaver by Max Mulpey. When that pager starts to vibrate, it's like no matter what you're doing, you feel a shock of adrenaline and a sense of guilt for every second you aren't there. In Population 45, Perry shows it's not all glory being an emergency responder. It's a lot of time and training to do the job successfully, but it's all for a good cause. As people always say, they wouldn't call us if they didn't have to. As an emergency responder, our biggest roles in a community are to be a good person and to be tough. Being a good person is a big part of being a successful emergency responder. Perry is a good guy. There's a lot of times in the book that he could have said, "I don't want to do this," like he says right here. People will make you want to turn and run. A good example is when he's getting puked on by a bigger lady who has been sick for a few days and just had a seizure. When someone keeps puking on you, it takes a good-hearted person to stay in there and not just leave like when this happened to him. Helen howled, paused again to hurl, then howled nonstop to the hospital. Responding to calls to help people is an emergency responder's main role in a community. But there is more to do for the community than that. Even little things like doing fundraisers for the community is a big role. Perry does some fundraising himself in his book, and it is almost the same way as the Sister Bay and Liberty Grove Fire Department does, with pancakes in the morning and then brats and burgers. There are also a lot of jobs to do at the station that take time, like having to train or work on the trucks, because it takes more than hopping in a truck to save lives. Good-hearted emergency responders can do a lot, but it takes a really tough person to be able to do some things for the community. Being a tough emergency responder for your community is something that is kind of expected if you want to be successful. There's a lot of calls where you're going to see the unthinkable, and there will be death, and it takes a lot to get through it. This weekend there was a call for a woman trapped in a car in the marina. There was a debriefing for the call, and it was very sad seeing that they couldn't get the lady out, and the guys you wouldn't think would cry did because life was lost. Perry sees some scary death when he responds to a call where a lady says her husband is dead. When he goes to see if there is any life left, he finds out he shot himself. This is just another example of you need to be tough to be able to take some things you see. This man has so obviously and carefully chosen to die, he says. Perry sees a lot of scary calls and handles them pretty well, and to be a firefighter or paramedic, you have to be mentally and physically tough to help your community. Being a good person and being tough are what it takes to make a good emergency responder. It's going to be a lot of guts and a lot of glory, and some days it's neither. The community depends on us, and it is a big job to take on. Perry even says he is scared about it if there were multiple calls that came in, and how do we go about which one to go to? It's something that is in the back of all emergency responders' minds, and it takes a lot to take care of any community when the unthinkable happens. But that is why you